Hello and welcome. My name is Regina Warren, and I am here presenting something pretty awesome for you guys. This is right now, I have the presenting author with me, Tina
Hi,
Rogers. How are you doing tonight, Tina?
I'm fine. How are you, Regina?
I'm good. I am good. I'm glad you asked me to do this. I am really inspired by this book. So just to kind of invite everyone that's on the call right now. I know we have one of the other contributing authors on the call. If you could introduce that one author.
Okay, we have Yolanda Brown. She is one of the contributing authors, and she has done an awesome job with, contributing to the book.
hmm And we're going to talk to Yolanda Brown now, but amazing book.
Well, actually, there are 14 authors, so there's
hmm
14 chapters, and each author has a chapter.
hmm
So
hmm
you guys will get a chance to meet at least 12 of them today and tomorrow.
Awesome, awesome. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the entire interview today. We're going to interview half the 14 today and then the other tomorrow. So, Latina, let's jump right into the book. Can you give me the theme of
The theme of the book is pretty much 14 women with different angles of how they overcame a lot of adversity and how they started the process of healthy healing. Everybody has a different particular theme. My chapter in the book is called Destined to Be Me, and my theme is based around overcoming fear. Pretty much, I had to dig deeper into my faith. The higher my faith went up, the lower my fear levels they went down. So when I figured out that faith and fear can't dwell in the same space, I was able to overcome a lot of the fears that I had about doing a lot of projects and different things like I'm doing, such as She Became Me.
awesome, awesome? Listen, as you guys are listening to this, I want you guys to absorb, take note as we actually talk to these different authors. All right. So, Tina, real quick before we jump to Yolanda, what is the one most important life lesson you have gained through your journey?
I would have to say, um, learning that everything changes, nothing stays the
hmm
same. And that brings me to the process of evolving. So we have to learn to embrace life and figure out how we're going to take that ride as we evolve. So either we can kind of evolve in a stagnant position, or we can take that chance and move forward and capture that and attach memories and make it a more of an impressible moment. So for the most part, I just feel like you just got to be ready because life will constantly change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And take on those experiences and learn from them and build. I
Yes,
love that. I love that.
right.
I love that. So Yolanda, just to bring you into the conversation, thank you.
How are you? Thank you.
Good, good. So what do you want readers to take away from your chapter?
I want readers to take away that I want them to be inspired. I want encouraged. I want them to understand that they can overcome self doubt, they can overcome obstacles and dysfunctional circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what is that one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
To appreciate the trials and appreciate the triumphs. I learned to also the importance of loving yourself. I've learned to love myself so that I can love others better. And that is one message that I send in my chapter. Listen, Lonnie, listen.
Yes, I love that. I like how you made it very personable in your chapter. On page 51, you talked about having an elephant sized vision. Can you explain that for our audience?
Absolutely. I have since a very young age really tried not to, I was taught to not have limits. that I can do anything. And so, despite things that I went through, having a hard head, I talk a little bit about that in my chapter. Having a hard head, but learning that the mistakes I made did not define me, and understanding that I can still have vision still today. I think when we stop having vision, we can't grow.
Awesome, awesome. So, just to kind of bring the both of you together, Tina and Yolanda, and Tina, you can answer this first. What is the one thing you learned through this process of creating this book and getting together these lovely women?
Well, I would say is to live deeper and just create moments, live in the present, and just cherish all the good times. I
Mhm.
would say that's one of the things that in the past, in my chapter that I talk about, is that I didn't learn to live as deeply as I've come to live now, and enjoy things and be more passionate about them. So
Mhm.
definitely, just living out loud, being deeper and attaching memories and cherishing those moments.
Mhm. Mhm. And then before we go back to Yolanda to answer the same question, what is the one thing that you learned through the process? Audience, please make sure you put in those comments and questions into this chat window. We want to hear from you and make you a part of this story as well. So, Yolanda, what is the one thing that you learned from this process in creating this book?
I believe that self reflection is necessary
Mhm.
for growth. And this project came at a time that was unexpected and unplanned, and Tina knows. I've talked to her about that. And so, writing this letter to my 9-year-old self was a step in that process of
Mhm.
self reflection and growth, and really looking back at that time in my life. And so,
Mhm.
that is what is reflected.
Hmm. You know what? You guys really are inspiring me. And I love how you said you went back to your 9-year old self. Why did you choose 9 years old, Yolanda?
Well, it's a funny story because when I was approached about this, I had to first find photos. I had to find
Mhm.
photos, and really I kind of went backwards in looking at the photo, looking at my age, and thinking about what was going on at that time. And at 9 years old, I don't want to give too much of the story away, but there was
Mhm.
a significant um, conversation that happened between myself and a child, and I could not remember at first if it was my cousin or my best friend at the time. And we were talking about being grown, being mature, and
Mhm.
the age of being fully aged was age 42. And we actually listed it out by year, and that is where my story began. And so that was significant when I went back to it, and that's how my story starts, because I've exceeded the age of 40. I've gone beyond 42.
Mhm. And, and thank you for sharing sharing into this book. I have gained so much knowledge as just a young woman coming upon my gifts and inspiration. But one of the things that I love that Tina pointed out in this book was to don't give yourself. How do I we say that? Well, a lot of times as women, especially colored women, we we limit ourselves and we don't give ourselves permission to be great. So Tina, in the book, you have wrote about giving yourself permission. What do you mean by that? When you say give yourself permission, what does that mean to you?
Well, when I reflected on that part of my life, I remember in the early ages of 10 or so, I was creative. I did lots of things. I wrote music, songs, blogs, long before blogs and reality TV came around. And I got away from that and started blending in, to regular life things and got away from being creative. So what I found is that now that I'm back to being creative and I'm giving myself permission to do the things that's making me happy, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily what everybody around me is doing, because you can get caught up in traditions and the customs and systems of what everybody else is doing, but maybe that's not the thing that's making you happy. So I gave myself permission now to pursue what makes me happy. So I just now I'm have really found the key to happiness through, just reflecting and thinking about what truly makes me happy. So I'm on that
Mm-hmm.
path for sure now.
Awesome. So, Latina, where can we get this book at? Where can we get this book and be blessed by all of these stories in this book?
Okay, definitely you can get it from your favorite author. So anybody that's listening, if you know one of the authors, you could contact them on Facebook. Most of us have a Facebook page. On that Facebook page, either you're going to come in contact with a website, Cash App, or anything of that nature. Of course, you can get it on Amazon, but you're going to come out a little better if you contact one of the authors. The price is going to be better for you. You can
Mhm.
also get it on Enhancement DNA with Ms. Denola Burton. They can go on her website and get it as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Yolanda. Really quick before we
Yes.
close out, I wanted to ask you a really good question. I think that you also, just reading your bio is phenomenal.
Thank you.
But I wanted to say thank you. One, you also give to youth. It looks like you have a youth organization as well. And so I know that a lot of your following is also listening to this as well. Is there a contact for them to kind of reach out to you and maybe purchase this book from you?
Oh, absolutely. And you should. You'll probably see it for those that are watching in the chat. So I am in youth development. I'm a youth development professional. I don't have an organization. Have worked for nonprofits as I do now, working with adults who serve youth. And in my entrepreneurial effort, the company that I own, I am a youth experience expert. And so what that means is that I know that the trajectory of a young person's life is changed, by exposure to quality adults. And so through my writing, and you find that. And so my website, you can contact me directly on Facebook, but my website is www.justsayitllc.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, really quick, I think there is something. Is there like a giveaway? What are we doing? What are we doing
Yeah,
special for our audience, Tina?
yes. Actually, if they type in paperback or ebook, you guys are in the chat, you'll have a chance to win a $25 gift card from Amazon. So be sure to
Hmm.
go ahead and type in paperback or ebook, whichever one you guys may have purchased already. And you type that in, you're going to get an opportunity to win that $25 Amazon gift card.
And listen, I don't know about you guys, but this book definitely blessed me. If you have already purchased it, because I know we had a milestone on Amazon a couple days ago, and we had a
Right.
success there. So even if you bought one, make sure you think about the other women in your family. You have wives, mothers, you have daughters, you have husbands that have daughters. It's phenomenal how many females you've come across that can definitely get blessed from this book. So make sure you get to Amazon and then purchase this book, The She Became Me, a letter to my younger self. All right, so we have some new authors that we're going to have coming up, but first, before we move on, I want to say thank you, Yolanda, and thank you,
Welcome.
Tina Rogers, for
You're
being
welcome.
the presenting author to bring all of these unique and powerful women together. All right, so
Thank
thank you
you.
again, Yolanda.
Bye bye.
All right. You guys stay tuned. We have a quick 5 minute break. And when I say quick, that means go and come back because we have more unique talent that we're going to be talking to about the She Became Me, a letter to my younger self. This is a virtual book launch, y'all. You don't want to miss what's up next. Hello, my name is Regina Warren, and welcome to the She Became Me, A Letter to My Younger Self book launch. Y'all, this is virtual for several reasons, but I'm excited to have with me the presenting author of this book, Tina Rogers. Hey, Tina, you still with me?
Hey, yes, I am. I'm here.
All right, all right. So we have two new authors with us. Could you please introduce them?
Yes, we have Renika Howe and we have Corman Green.
Awesome, awesome. Hello, ladies. How are you guys
Hey,
doing?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. Of course, you guys are beautiful as always. But I want to jump right into this book because it really touched me to actually be able to talk to my younger self and actually tell myself some things that you guys actually pointed out in this book. And I wanted to start with Cameron, Miss Green. So, I kind of chuckled when I read over your chapter in some areas. And that's just because I felt like you were honest with yourself. And a lot of times, and maybe not in the very beginning, but the fact that you came to the conclusion that honesty is more important. And one of the things that made me chuckle was is you called yourself difficult, so strong and difficult. So I just thought that was very interesting to me. But could you please share with our audience why it's important to be honest with yourself? I think you're on mute. Oh, there you go.
I feel like when you're honest with yourself, that you're able to adapt more,
Mhm.
and you're able to grow more, and you're able to see life more as lessons, versus burdens.
Mhm. Mhm. And one of the things that you actually touched on was a lot of the painful moments. A lot of our I see on page 37, you talked about hurt and pain and tears and tragedy and persistence and emptiness and sadness. So what is the theme of your letter to yourself?
The theme of the letter to myself is that lessons plus survival equals growth. With every lesson that we have in life, we all survive from them, and we should all grow for each one of them.
Most definitely. I think that it's always a continual battle and learning every step of the way. There's something to learn from. And when you stop learning, I think that's when you're dead, honestly. And physically not dead, but just dead on the inside. So then, Cameron, really quick, what is the most important life lesson that you have learned in this journey?
That I can survive anything, no matter what it is.
All right, all right. And I agree with you about that. Thank you so much, Cameron. I want to pull in Renika into the conversation. So please tell me, hey, how are you doing? to you lovely ladies. So just described on page 57 in this book, and as you wrote your letter to your younger self, but what do you say to that defiant girl? Because when I was reading yours on page 57, I read something very unique. Being mad at so and so and running away with so and so, and what do you say to that defiant girl? To her,
I would say that, the world is not as easy as it looks. And though you may think that you are grown enough to go out there and face the world, it is not yet your time. So be patient.
Patience. Yes, I think that's one of the forgotten virtues. But what is the theme of your letter to your younger self?
So my theme to my younger self is my peace, my purpose. And it just simply it's, we are going to have twists and turns, highs and lows in life, and they're going to happen. And some of those being based upon decisions that we make, but we cannot allow the traumatic situations to paralyze us to the point that we cannot move past them. And so, um, you know, we all have a journey, and we have a purpose, and we can get to that point when we receive that peace within.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. And what I really like about your letter is that you did bring up some of those complications in life, maybe some of those things that led you to certain situations. But now that you look back and you see on that, what is the one most important thing you want the readers to get away from your story? What do you want them to get away from your story?
What I want the readers to take away from my story is that they understand that there is a process, and that process is necessary, and that you must face the wall. There is a wall there. And that simply means just speaking to those things that we allow to shut us down. So, like pain and setbacks in life, those things that happen are intended to build our endurance. And once that healing takes place, it knocks down that wall. And that same pain will push you into birthing your purpose.
Hmm. I like that. I like that. So Tina,
Yes.
with these lovely ladies that contributed to the book, what was your thought process to invite Renika and also Carmen into the process?
Carmen. Well, all the
Carmen.
ladies, yeah, Carmen, yeah, all the ladies are in my life at some point. Some of them have been there a long time. Some of them are, new acquaintance. But all of these ladies connected with me at the heart. So I knew some of their, um, I want to say, trauma or adversities, different situations that they had to overcome. And I saw how brave they were, how they went through the process of healing and looking for healthy paths to healing. So I figured that each one that I invited would already be there. Everybody here has already went through that process of understanding the purpose of healing, and that is necessary. So
Mm.
everybody, all the 14 women, they were in that position. So the book is pretty much about the process because they've already went over to the other side.
Hmm. Awesome. Awesome. So, really quick. So, okay. So I know several times in the book it's came up about different distractions, and one of the distractions is boys, right? So what do you guys say to these young women who are reading this book that are experiencing right now such trials as and of course at the younger age, boys was everything. So what do you guys say to help them kind of look past boys, not look at them as distractions, but look at them as friends instead of, how to, I don't know, get past that part and not get distracted from them boys.
I would say the same attention that you seek or that you would want to get from a boy, you start with giving yourself that attention, that care, and that love, because that's something that no matter what,
you will not be able to get that from anyone else. So that boy that you may be interested in, yes, he may be cute, he may be fine, but guess what? You have to take that same energy and apply it to yourself, and you have to love yourself first, because no one can love you like you can love yourself. No one can make you happy. That happiness comes from within. So that would be my suggestion.
Mm-hmm. Kirby.
I would always say just put yourself first. Don't put no one above you. That the only one that can love you is you. And if you can't love yourself, there's no way you can love anything or anyone else. And you won't allow anyone else to even love you because you don't know what it is. Um, yes, boys are good or whatever you like to call them at that time, but you have to love yourself. And that's most important in all things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and
Tina.
I would say that self-love is the greatest love of all. Because
Mm.
until you can love yourself, you really do not understand love. You're not even capable of loving someone else properly until you understand how to love yourself.
Hmm. That is actually very powerful, ladies. What about the same sex? What about our friends? What about those that are trying to dabble into the streets? And we know that we probably shouldn't go, but I'm kind of wrestling inside of me with that peer pressure. What do you guys say to that little girl that's struggling with peer pressure and trying to uphold what her friends are doing?
I would
Well,
say, oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead, Ronika.
I would just say that it is okay to be the puzzle piece that does not fit. You don't have to like fit in the crowd. And I always, say, just, I mean, think about the crowd that you're wanting to be in, that crowd that you're just yearning to be a part of. If you look 5, 10 years down the road, that crowd is going to change. And so I just say it's okay to make your own decisions, and you don't have to be a crowd follower, but you can be a leader, and you can be a leader right now.
I love that, Renika. Carmen?
I just say, just think about every action that you have comes with a consequence. And if the consequence is one that you don't want, then I wouldn't go with it.
Mhm.
Straight to the point. I like that. Punch hitter. So Tina.
Well, I would say that for the young ladies right now, learn to be okay with being lame as being cool. Because being different is the thing you want. You don't want to be the same as everyone else. So standing, be outstanding is to stand alone. Do something different. Don't just follow the crowd.
Y'all hear that? Y'all listen, audience, you have to send us your questions. I know y'all are getting some really good pieces right now. Make sure you add those questions and comments into the chat window. But before you leave, I need to tell you guys that you may get a gift. Tina, please let our audience know what they could be walking away with.
Well, if you guys just type paperback, I'm sorry, yeah, paperback or ebook in the chat, you're going to get an opportunity to win a $25 Amazon gift card. So make sure that you get a chance to do that.
Awesome, awesome. So I know a lot of you are interested in actually purchasing this book. And if you have not already, shame on you. You need to go out and go get this book. I was truly blessed. And as a woman in my 30s, I have looked at this book and said, yes, maybe I should write a note to myself. You will gain so much knowledge and inspiration from all 14 women contributing to this book. And so I encourage each and every last one of you, go out to Amazon, go get the book, and it can be a gift for yourself. It can be a gift for any other, your friend, your best friend, your sister's sister. I mean, it can go on and on and on. Okay, listen. And don't forget the males that may be raising little girls and need this book to help them get through their lives. All right. So before we go on break, one last time, Tina, if you could just let our guests know, um, can they go writing with that gift? What is it? $25? I need $25.
So it's a $25 Amazon gift. Type in the chat group. You need to type paperback or ebook. So whichever one you may have, you know, if you've gotten the paperback, type that in. If you purchased the ebook, type that in. So that'll give you an opportunity to win that $25 Amazon gift card.
All right. And before I let Cameron and Ronika go, I need you guys to please share with the audience how can they get in contact with you, powerful women. Cameron, how can we get in contact with you?
You can contact me at zamariuskessel@gmail.com.
Awesome, awesome. And Ronika?
And you can contact me at www.ronikalashawn.com.
Awesome. And of course, if you're interested to buy this book, Tina, how can they purchase this book? What are the different options?
Okay, you guys can definitely look all the authors up on Facebook. Well, Carmen is not on Facebook, but you know, just go ahead and write down her website or her email that she just gave you guys. Or you can always contact me if you're interested in getting books from Carmen. I can get you that information. You can get it from Amazon, but you're going to get a better deal if you get it directly from one of the authors. So you can also get it on Enhancement DNA, Mr. Nola Burton's website as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carmen. And thank you so much, Ronika.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Tina, so we have another set coming up. This is our last set of the evening, but it is not the very end because we have more tomorrow. So listen, you guys stay around 5 minutes. That means get up, get you something to drink, come back. I will see you guys soon. 5 minutes. and welcome. My name is Regina Warren, and I will be the moderator for the She Became Me, a letter to my younger self, a book that has inspired me. And right now I have with me the presenting author during this virtual book launch, Tina Rogers. How are you doing?
I'm great.
You still hanging with me?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Okay, so who are our new authors that we're interviewing right
What we have now is Latasha Walker and Skye Berger.
now? Awesome. Hello, Latasha, and hello, Skye.
Hi, how are you?
Beautiful ladies. Um, so Latasha, let's jump right on into this book because I'm telling you what, it's so much that we could talk about right now. But I want to know, and I'm pretty sure the audience wants to know, what is the theme of your letter in your chapter?
The theme of my letter is full circle.
Mm-hmm. Full circle. What does that mean to you?
Just with a lot that goes on in your life, at some point in time, it finally comes together.
Yes. So kind of like the hindsight is 2020 or understanding where you come from to where you are now.
I would say from where I came from to where I am now.
Yes. I kind of like that because it's like learning from your experiences too. That's pretty awesome. So what is the most important life lesson that you have learned throughout your journey?
Definitely loyalty and trust
Loyalty and trust. Loyalty to yourself.
to myself and others.
You know what? And I honestly I like that because when I was reading your chapter, one of the things that jumped out to me was having a support system. And then not only that, but you recognized your support system and that you became some other people's support system. So without giving much away for the book, you guys, by the way, audience, get the book because you will understand what she's talking about when she say full circle. But this support system, why is that important for everybody to have a support system?
Well, the old saying is it takes a village, and it really does. So support is like a really strong thing in my family. Um, I'm lucky to still have my mom in my life, and she's actually just a couple of doors down from me. So anytime I need her, I always can count on her. And just being able to know that somebody is already there for you.
Mm-hmm. 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 And somebody to lean on when times get tough. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Latasha. So, Skye, I'm gonna bother you. I was reading through your letter, and I loved it. What is the theme of your letter to your younger self?
If I had to pinpoint a thing, I think it's really about being able to trust yourself and where you are. And so, yeah, I didn't know that Tasha was going to say that about trust, but yeah, really being able to trust yourself, trust the thoughts that you have, trust the process that you're in, and be able to know that you are the best indicator for where you're going next.
Hmm. So, what do you want readers to actually take away from your story? What is it should they walk away with?
If we had to walk away with one thing, I think that it would be the power of our imaginations.
Mm-hmm.
Utilize the power of your imagination, be able to engage the power of your imagination. I know that, well, I've been a mother since I was 16 years old, and even just watching my children grow. Now, I have my daughter just graduated from IU, and I think that I've instilled in my daughter and my sons to make sure that they are always dreaming big. But even when you're dreaming big, just make sure that you can dream better. So if you had to walk away with something, it would be engage, trust yourself, and engage the power of your imagination. And that way, all things are tangible to you.
And I hear that quite a bit. But one of the things that I liked about your story on page 94, you did talk about fantasy and you talked about how actually holding on to your dreams. And I think a lot of times we go through life and things happen, bumps in the road, and we actually let go of those dreams.
Yeah.
So why is it important to actually hold on to those? And for me, I think that it's more about purpose. But what do you think?
Oh, I totally agree with you, Regina. I think that it has everything to do with purpose. First of all, it is my true belief, and I get passionate about talking about these things because I don't think that our dreams are just ours. First of all, I believe they're God given. He gives us the desires of our heart. So anything that we can even imagine, He's going to do more, right? And so when we think about that, I get excited because I know what I have been able to tap into to manifest. And so I have a really big imagination. So thank you, Tina, for allowing me to imaginate with all these ladies, right? I have a huge imagination. And so to think about, I can think about something and knowing that that's small, that's on a small scale as compared to what the universe will line up to provide. And so, like I said, I get really excited just about thinking about those things. And so we have to hold on to our dreams because they're ours. And as Tina talked about earlier, and some of the other ladies alluded to, there's so many people, there's so many influences that come into our paths that can take us away from our dreams. So I agree with you totally when you say that it's all about purpose, because our purpose is already woven into us, and so we just have to really tap into that to be able to move it forward.
Powerful. I like that, Skye. So what is the one piece of advice that you would give your younger self? What is
If I
that?
could,
What is
if
that
I could
one
give
piece
them,
of advice?
I would say, girl, keep dreaming big. Like I wonder
Yeah.
even now, almost I'm closer to 40, right?
Mhm.
And so when I think about just where I am, I know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. But if I would have just held on to some of those dreams, it was more of a girl, you were doing fine, everybody else didn't have it together. That's more really what that letter was about. Because it's yeah, you just have to hold on to that. Dream bigger. So, I mean, 8-year-old Skye and 12-year-old Skye, it's okay that all those things happen to you. It's okay that it didn't go as planned or whatever you thought in your 8-year-old or 14-year-old imagination it could have been, but it's okay. We're here. So just dream bigger. If just when you think you're going to be able to do something, think bigger than that.
I love that. I love that, Skye. So, as a mother and also an entrepreneur, it looks like you are doing some awesome things here. So, what inspiring things can you tell young mothers as you are actually living? I mean, living a wonderful life right now.
I can tell you, like, again, parenting since I was 16 and
Mhm.
growing up with my children has been an experience because I have a 22-year-old and I'm 38, and so I think as a young mother, as when Tasha talked about tapping into a support system, I've always had a virtual support system. I have a family, but they weren't necessarily people that I can tap into. I had to create my network, and I work with young people that were in foster care and adoption population, and so because of that, I was able to learn what family really looks like. And that may not be someone who gave birth to you, someone who created you. In fact, it is my belief that some people's parents' purpose was just to get you into this world. And if they did that, then they did enough. But we also have to just consider who our supports are, and lean on those who will allow you to lean on them. But
Mhm.
if you are finding that you feel alone, know that you're not. You're not the first and the last. And I think that that was some advice that I really held on to, knowing that you can still accomplish everything. When I became pregnant, in fact, with the writing of this book, when Tina tapped me and she said, "We need a picture of you," my thought was that I want some pictures of me while I was pregnant. But back in 1998, when I was pregnant, that wasn't like something we celebrated. In fact, I remember being shamed at my baby shower. It was like, well, I've already had sex, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is where we are. This is what's going
Yeah.
on. But I don't want to say don't worry about those things because those feelings then are very valid. But I am so proud of my daughters. I have 3 daughters and 2 sons. I am so proud of them. So just be proud that you can say, you know what? My baby made it. Like my baby is actually 22, got a whole car note lease. You know what I mean?
The grown
Everything in her
baby.
name, right? But being able to
Yes.
just be there and see that, like I can see that
Mhm.
now, but I remember back then, all I heard was doom and gloom. So don't worry,
Right.
girlfriends, we got this. It's okay. It might look like there's something more going on,
Mhm.
and that it's out of control, but just know that you got this. You got this. And if not, just reach out to me and I can be like, it's okay, because I'm living
Mhm.
proof of that.
You know what, Scott? You actually blessed me just right now, and I truly appreciate that. Just listening to you as a mother of four, but you know what? You inspire me, and thank you so much for being on here and actually contributing to this book. Audience, we are talking about this. She Became Me: A Letter to My Younger Self. It is a book that is now available for you to go get. You can actually talk to any of these authors that we're speaking to. All 14 lovely ladies that contributed to this book are available to purchase this book. You can also go to Amazon as well, but I advise you to reach out to one of your favorite authors and pick up the book. And then we'll get into some gifts in just a second. But before we get to those gifts, I want to back to Tasha. Latasha, don't leave me,
Yes,
girl. Where you at?
I'm
All right,
I'm here.
Tasha. All right, Tasha. So, what one thing did you learn through this process? What is the one thing that you learned through this process?
Definitely accountability. It was so many of us, and it was texts coming and emails coming, and I didn't want to be the one that held everything up.
Right. So you guys created a support system within your system.
You
Got
had
it.
to.
Yeah. Yes, I love it. I love it. Okay. So, all right. So, what is the one piece of advice that you would give your younger self? And I know we talked about the support system, and we kind of touched on blood, but what about the non-blood? Those who are, you just you're strangers that became friends. Um, what is the one piece of advice that you would give your younger self?
My younger self would to be more patient. I came from a household that if I saw it, I got it immediately. And now that I've grown older and I see that everybody doesn't have it like that. So it's just being patient and helping people understand the difference in lifestyles.
Hmm. So, Tasha, is there anything that you want to actually tell your readers to kind of clue them into your story? I know, don't give away too much, but kind of give us a little quick tip about your letter to yourself.
So one big thing is I did adopt two children, and I'm going to talk about that in the story. And that's something I say, kind of like what Skye just said about her family. I always tell the girls that blood doesn't make them family to me. The love in my heart will always be enough love for them to understand they're my family. Um, and you know, just keep going.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Tina, Tina, are you still with us? I
Yes,
wanted to
I'm
say
here.
thank you for these lovely ladies, Latasha and Skye, and a lot of the powerful women that we spoke to today and that we're going to continue to speak to tomorrow. But I wanted to ask you, what is it that you thought of when you asked Tasha and Skye to join this book?
Well, first, I figured they were great women. When I met them, both of these ladies, I've known them for a short period of time, let's say, 2 or 3 years now. But
Mhm.
when I met them, it was impactful for me. They were powerful women. They immediately connected with me at heart. And I knew that when I started this project, that they would be someone that I would want to be in this journey. They had a lot to say. If they told you they were women that was doing things differently from adoption to maybe teenage pregnancy. I too was a teenage mother, so I know the struggle and how hard it is to overcome. Just knowing that your dreams are delayed but not denied, that's huge. There's a lot of young ladies, out here that's probably thinking that people will criticize you and make you feel like, you're no longer worthy because you have maybe done some things, some choices that, you may have to get over a few things, but that doesn't mean that, they can write you out. So, like Scott said, you got to keep pushing. You got to keep finding that thing that's going to make you realize that you're still worthy, no matter what your choices are. Every choice may not be a good choice, but you can definitely overcome them.
Awesome. Thank you, Tina. And thank you so much, Tasha, and also Skye. Any last words, Tasha? Anything you wanted to share with our audience?
One thing I would like to say is it's always good to hit the reset button. In life, you can reset your life. It's your story. You can tell it how you want to tell it. So if you feel like you're not going the right way, take a pause and hit the reset button. That's it.
Mhm. All right, Tasha, straight to the point. I like it. Skye, is there any last words or anything you want the audience to kind of get from this book, and that you want to share with the audience today? Please unmute.
I was muted
Yep,
again. I
there we go.
apologize. So I
No
want to
problem.
I wanted to be able to thank Tina because as Tasha was alluding to the last one, I'm pretty sure it was me as well. Tina had I was always getting on Tina about her taking screenshots, like rather than just sending the text to us. I would always get a screenshot from her. But really, just thank you for the process and for everyone who's going to buy our books and everyone that's on the live right now. I just want to say that in thinking about what Tasha said about resetting, all things are possible and new mercies are truly available every day. Go to sleep with that thought that you want to happen for the next day, and you can always reset. So thank you, Tasha, for saying that. And Tina, thank you for screenshot.
It seems
So
like
we
you
had
guys had
we had a question from
a lot of fun.
the chat box. A young lady asked a
Okay.
question of what advice would we give for someone struggling in their 20s?
Skye.
So,
Okay.
Skye,
Well, I think I actually saw that earlier, and I don't know how we run address those questions, but
yeah.
I think that for someone struggling in their 20s, um, I want to tell you that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, but decide what your next step is. I think that we have a lot of opportunity to be able to create our next step. In addition to creating our next step, we need to be aware of where we are. So if you are struggling in your 20s, what exactly are you struggling with? So my advice, and this is pure advice, would be to actually write down what you're struggling with. Recreate that. So maybe take two columns. I actually have this worksheet on my website. And if Danola didn't put it into the chat box, it's dooropeneracademy.com. And if you don't see it on my website, because I'm in transition right now with the website, just go to the contact page. But what it is just a simple one sheet. On one side, write down what you're struggling with, and on the other side, write down what you need that to be. Oftentimes, we are really good at pushing things down, and we just wake up like, oh, I got to get through this. I got to get through this. But we have to call that thing by name sometimes to be able to redirect our path. And so I think that start there. The struggle might be real, but it doesn't have to be prolonged. So remember that. Jasmine, I see you. You'll find
Go
your
ahead,
purpose, babe.
Tasha.
Once again, you just hit that reset button. If you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be or where you want to be, you have to be the one to change that. In life, you paint on a canvas, and all the strokes you in control of, so you just have to change the stroke.
Okay, and what I would add to
Oh,
that is just figure out what your strengths are and your weaknesses and turn your weaknesses into strengths. You can always do that. You
mhm,
just got to think about it and make that weakness a strength.
mhm. And you know what? And I know I'm a moderator on this. And reading the book, I have experienced a lot. And that you guys brought full circle for me. And so to answer that question, just to add on to what the other ladies were saying, I would definitely say pray. You know, make sure you touch into who you are, and your spirituality. And sometimes it's nice to take a pause, and
Yeah.
kind of hit the reset button. But you need to pause, get quiet up and through here. Get quiet, and listen.
Mhm.
um, so, again, thank you so much, Tasha. Tasha, how can we get in contact with you if we have more questions, and then also to actually purchase this book?
So you can get with me on Facebook at Tasha Walker, just TOSHA Walker on Facebook, and I can answer any of your questions from there.
Perfect. And then Skye, how can we get in contact with you?
I had already dropped that plug, but my website is dooropeneracademy.com. I believe that we are all door openers, so that's a bit of the story behind my organization. But also, my most active site is Instagram, and so I'm Skye Berger, SKYEBERGER on Instagram. I'm trying to raise that TikTok up though, so go follow me on TikTok too because I need to do the stank walk a little bit more or something.
And then Tina, I know we have some gifts to give away. Can you
Yes.
please tell the audience?
Yes, if you guys type in paperback or ebook, you guys will have an opportunity to win a $25 Amazon gift card. So be sure to go to the chat box and put that in there, so you won't lose out on that opportunity.
Awesome, awesome. So listen, I need $25. So y'all make sure y'all beat me by typing in that paperback and ebook into the chat window. And if you do still have more questions, by all means, please keep adding those comments. Even on replay, someone will be getting to you. I had a great time tonight, and I hope you ladies did too. And sharing some of your stories. A lot of them are very powerful. All of them, all of them are powerful. Each and every last one of you have a great story to tell. And thank you, Tina, for actually bringing this all together. You guys are beautiful ladies, inside and out. Tina, you want to give any last remarks?
Make sure you get your copy. Just get on Facebook and try to contact your favorite author, or you can contact me and I would redirect you to whoever you're trying to get in touch with.
Perfect. Hey, make sure y'all get this book. It's absolutely awesome. You can give this to gift it to yourself, gift it to another sister. You can give it to a daughter. You can give it to a father that has a daughter. You can give it to anyone that you know that will benefit from She Became Me, a letter to my younger self. Again, we've added the comment into the comments on how to get the book. Now it's just on you. Do your part and actually support the cause. I am Regina Warren, and I am absolutely blessed to be a part of this. And I will see you guys tomorrow, May 27th at 6 p.m. sharp. That we have, it's a big movement. So I advise you to be here, and I will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.